you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching.
Jay-Z's name has been added to a civil lawsuit alongside P Diddy for the alleged SA of a 13-year-old girl after the MTV VMAs in 2000. Now, if like me, you're in the UK, this news broke overnight and we've been waking up to headlines such as these all morning. Now, the original civil lawsuit against P Diddy was filed back in October, with Jay-Z's name being added yesterday. Now, the lawsuit alleges that the unnamed girl was drugged and SA'd by both Jay-Z and P Diddy at a party hosted after the Video Music Awards by Sean Combs. Texan lawyer Tony Busby, who is representing the girl and who filed the lawsuit yesterday, has filed 20 civil lawsuits against P Diddy for sexual misconduct. Now, Jay-Z has already responded to the accusations, releasing the following statement: "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit."
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Oh my gosh, breaking news. Please tell me why I woke up this morning. Jay-Z, accused Jay-Z. There's loads of like different notifications from people that I'm subscribed to, and now obviously it's on like mainstream news. Like, yeah. So the two Seans, you know, the peas in the pod, the brothers. Jay-Z has been roped into one of P Diddy's cases. So back in October, a person that got raped by P Diddy and another celebrity, aka allegedly Jay-Z, this happened back in the 2000s. Now they've named the other celebrity and they've said allegedly. Everyone's losing their mind. Like, obviously, people like 50 Cent, Jaguar Wright have been keeping their foot on Jay-Z's neck, because when P Diddy first got arrested, people were like, "Where's Jay-Z? Like, that's your brother. Go and help him out." Like, he didn't like stand up for him or anything. Because obviously there was Stevie J, there was Meek Mill, you know, there was little like rappers standing up for P Diddy. Jay-Z literally was nowhere to be seen. The only thing we had of Jay-Z was this picture, which lives in my head rent free. I love it. Looks just like him. Sick at it. But yeah, I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised. So I'm shocked that his time is finally coming, because it's been way overdue. But I'm not surprised that he was there, because he's with P Diddy quite a lot. So you know the free cast that you know he was there allegedly. If you look at Jay-Z's track record, like all the beautiful women he's been around, they're always like way younger than him. And even him and Beyonce, there's a big age gap. So yeah. So let's get into people's reactions.
She alleged that the Sean Carter, Sean Combs, Jay-Z, they would be in bed together from time to time. Overheard Jay-Z saying he was tired of being second fiddle to Biggie and more or less gave Diddy the go-ahead to...
Now, the P. Diddy allegations are getting so deep and so twisted that even I'm having a hard time following at this point. But today I want to talk specifically about Jay-Z, because that is one name on these lists that keep coming out that I think might run a lot deeper than we even know at this point. And for anyone who might not be familiar with the name Jay-Z, he's that man that's usually pictured standing next to Beyonce. That is her husband. Does this ring a bell? Okay, anyways. So there have been some strange headlines regarding Jay-Z and young women throughout the years that everyone has just ignored. But for starters, there are only two people on this planet who are allowed to call P. Diddy by his first name, Sean. And that is his mother and Jay-Z, because they're actually both named Sean. But even the fact alone that P. Diddy has repeatedly mentioned that there are only two people on this planet allowed to call him by his real name, and one of those is Jay-Z, it highlights that these two were incredibly close. But even before the P. Diddy information came out, Jay-Z's age gap, relationships, and just the fact that he was often surrounded by girls so much younger than him always sat a little strange to me. For starters, there were always rumors surrounding this woman who goes by Foxy Brown. Here she is 15 and Jay-Z is 23. And then there are some more suggestive photos like this taken with Aaliyah when she was between like 15 to 17. At this point, he was in his very late 20s. And this was all, of course, until he met Beyonce, which the age at which they met seems to change based off of what interviews from them you read. Now, Beyonce, of course, always knows to make it clear they met when she was 18, which is still insanely young, because he still would have been about 30 years old. But according to Cosmo, there are some interviews in which the timeline Jay-Z gives would have put Beyonce around the age of 17, which again would have made him 29 and her a high schooler. And if that's not all odd enough too, there's the story of how he signed Rihanna to Def Jam Records. When she was 16 years old, they flew her up to meet Jay-Z, and they've talked about this a number of times now. But they essentially trapped a 16-year-old girl and held her in the office for hours until 3 a.m. when she finally agreed to sign the record deal. Said, "We don't sign songs here, we sign artists. There are two ways to leave. Through the door with the deal signed or through the window, and we're on the 29th floor. That is a 35-year-old man threatening a child. They said, "We signed later that night. We didn't let her leave the office. 3 in the morning is when the contract finally was signed. So from the meeting that started around 3 or 4 in the afternoon."
50 Cent explained how Jay-Z is in hiding while this whole Diddy lawsuit blows over. He said, "Jay in hibernation. He ain't coming outside till this shit with Puff blow over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner, lol. I'm all you got. I'm outside." I mean, it's been alleged that Diddy is throwing Jay-Z out there because he is not speaking up and he is not helping him whatsoever. And we know how close Jay-Z and Diddy were. I mean, the Jane Doe from one of the Diddy lawsuits allegedly is Tierra Marie. And if you remember, Jay-Z and Tierra Marie were together all the time back then. And with their friendship going back as far as it does, Jay-Z better hope that Diddy doesn't open his mouth. I mean, we've heard it from Jaguar Wright as well that she knows that Jay-Z is going to be brought down with Diddy. Because allegedly they are the ones that have been offing and side-mining all of these relevant hip-hop artists in the industry for years. 50 Cent is a real one and he is coming at everybody's neck, and I absolutely love this.
I swear, I can't stand 50 Cent. He's a cancer like me, but he plays way too much. But one thing about him, he don't tell no lies. He'll play with P Diddy, play with Jay-Z and other rappers, Ja Rule. But one thing about him, he doesn't lie. Literally, like Cat Williams said, it's up for all of them in 2024. All lies will be exposed. Literally, that interview just lives in my head like rent free. That's another thing.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
And it's just scary because, like, literally, he said this at the beginning of this year, and now it's all being like, we've got 1 more month, 3 weeks left of this year, and I know next year is going to be crazy. The trial is going to be crazy. Now, I don't know if he's going to end up like Weinstein or like if he's going to Jeffrey Jepsen. I don't know if he's going to end up like that. Like, who knows? He's definitely going down, but it's like, who's he taking down with him? The reason why I believe like what the accusers accusing is because Jay-Z, he's got a shady past. So the 2 clips I'm going to play after this, you'll understand why. But yeah, he's just always been shady, always thinks about himself. So I'm really not surprised.
So Jay-Z had a problem. He started a record label with his 2 friends, but it wasn't working out anymore. Through pure grinding, they turned their label Rockefeller Records into a massive business, but that money started to go to Dame's head. That boy started acting real different. He started making business decisions without consulting Jay-Z and Biggs, the other guy. He started firing people, hiring people, telling Jay-Z to show up in this movie, show up in that movie. Everybody was getting a little sick of it. But most importantly, he had a way of pissing people off. He heard that Jay-Z was having secret meetings with Def Jam, so he storms into one of these meetings with the label executive, then starts going ballistic, cussing everybody out. This white dude gets up and leaves. Dame says, "That's what I thought. You shouldn't even be in this room talking about my culture anyway." But little did Dame know Jay-Z had a plan. Now, I want you to pay attention. So Dame, Jay-Z, and their other partner owned 50% of Rockefeller. 25% was owned by Def Jam, and the other 25%, making it a total of 100%, was owned by another company. But Def Jam and that other random company were owned by one Parent company. This is how a lot of companies work to trick you into thinking that you own most of your company. Def Jam says, oh, I only own 25%, you own 50. The other company goes, oh, I only own 25%, you own 50. But they're both secretly owned by one company. So technically, you own 50% and they own 50%. So now all it takes is for shareholders to make a decision and you're out of a company. And here's where the finesse happens. Def Jam, who owns 25%, calls up Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Biggs and says, hey, we'd like to buy the rest of the 50% from you guys for $50 million. What do you say? Jay-Z said, should we do it? Dame said, yeah, we should do it. Because really, all we're doing is selling the shares of the company. We're still gonna run the company. Jay-Z says, yeah. Dame, you're fired. Dame says, I'm not fired. You sold your shares of the company too. Jay-Z says, oh, you know what, bro? They hired me as the president of Def Jam, so I'm actually your boss now. Dame says, well, slow down. Hold on. What do you say? Jay-Z said, yeah, bro, we technically sold our shares of the company. So since Def Jam now owns Rockefeller, I'm your boss, bro. Well, I was your boss. Biggs, the third dude, said, damn, he got your ass. Damn, I'm not gonna hold you. Jay said, yeah, bro, you fired too, though. Biggs said, what you mean, bro? We go way back. JC said, what do you do? The TikToker couldn't even talk about you in the video. Biggs said, huh. Dame said, I'm not gonna hold you, Big. You actually really didn't do anything. Matter of fact, Jay-Z wanted to get rid of you a long time ago, but I told him not to. Jay-Z said, how about this though, y'all? Y'all know it's my dream to own all of my music. Def Jam gave me back all the masters of my music when I became president. If y'all give me...
Y'all, tell me that you have seen the news articles about this potential love child that Jay-Z has had since the 90s. According to Rhaenyra, he says that Jay-Z has been avoiding taking a paternity test for over 10 years, and he's now taking it to the Supreme Court. Let's fucking talk about it. In the lawsuit, Rhaenyra alleges that when his mom was 16 years old, she was having a sexual relationship with Jay-Z, who was at the time 22. Mind you, this was 4 years before his debut album. By the time Rhaenyra was born in 93, she no longer spoke to Jay-Z. She instead was back together with her high school boyfriend, so she decided to put him on the birth certificate instead. Hold on, y'all, because it gets real messy from here going forward. First time he sues Jay-Z is in 2010. A Pennsylvania court orders genetic testing for the high school boyfriend, Jay-Z, and Rhaenyra in this case. The high school boyfriend, Robert, ends up taking the DNA test. Rhaenyra does too. Turns out that's not his dad. So the only person left is Jay-Z, and what does he do? He avoids it. They never hear back. The case gets dismissed. In 2012, he sues Jay-Z again. However, this time he does it in the state of New Jersey. Jay-Z's attorneys fight to get the case dismissed. They say he has no ties to the state of New Jersey. He doesn't own any homes. He doesn't have any businesses here. A judge dismisses the case. Rhaenyra and his attorneys immediately appeal, and then they bring back deed documents, tax records that show that Jay-Z does in fact have ties to the state of New Jersey via homes, via businesses. Jay-Z's attorney says that she initially misspoke when she said he had no ties to New Jersey because she really did believe that he only lived in New York City. However, Jay-Z's attorneys then presented to the court the argument that there was no proof that Sean Carter in the tax documents and in the deeds was Jay-Z. How could they prove that it wasn't just some guy with the same name that owned homes in New Jersey? Absolutely insane how the legal system works, but they dismissed the case. Now the NAACP and the ACLU are fighting on behalf of Rhaenyra. And in 2016, before her death, his mother, Wanda, actually publicly came out and made a statement that she supports him and that she actually does agree with the allegations that Jay-Z is his father. Rhaenyra claims that he's not looking for anything from Jay-Z. He doesn't want money. He doesn't want anything. He just wants acknowledgement. And honestly, I can't even really blame him. Rhaenyra then sues Jay-Z again in 2014, and they again dismiss the case on the same basis that they can't prove that Jay-Z is the guy on the tax documents. The judge then seals it, which means the public can no longer access it or ask for court records on the case. So now Rhaenyra is taking it to the New Jersey Supreme Court. He's asking for it to be unsealed all the way back to 2012. In his motion, he states that Jay-Z has been avoiding taking a paternity test and that it could all be resolved if he just agreed. I don't disagree with him. Who would avoid taking a paternity test for over 10 years? Y'all, what do we think? Maybe I'm just messy, but I think the resemblance is uncanny, especially the lips and like the Cupid's bow. I'm dying to know what y'all think. If you love to talk about pop culture, follow along because I have way more to share.
Him can't deny that boy. That is his son. And I recently watched the interview that that young boy did with Tasha K, and even she was just watching him, like the way he moves. He actually sounds like he's from New York. He's from Philly. Because like when Jay-Z talks, you just know that's him. Like he has a very distinctive way of talking and his voice. And his son's got it bad just like him. Literally, I see this part of his face is literally all Jay-Z, from like the nose to like this bit here. Not just the lips, but this. Jay-Z, you can't deny that boy. Like that's your son. And he's been fighting. The boy only literally wants a DNA test and he's been fighting it. And in certain states, you have to take it. And if you don't take it, then they're seeing you as the dad, because why are you not going to take it? You know what I mean? If someone keeps going around like, you're my mom, we're doing a DNA test, because you're not going to keep going around saying, I'm your mama, when I clearly know you're like, I'm not your mother. So even that's got people looking a bit, but just look at their face. You can't deny. Can't deny. So people have been looking at like old tweets, videos, interviews, and even like him, like when he first signed Rihanna, she was super young, Thierry Marie, even Rita Ora, like all these beautiful young ladies. I'm not saying he's done anything with them, but he's just always around like really young girls, and like girls that he's allegedly dated is like Aaliyah, Foxy Brown, the one that used to do for 106 and Park. Like there's just so many, but they're all like super young. It's like he's never with a woman that's like his age. Even his alleged that boy's mother, sadly she's passed away, rest in peace to her. But apparently like she had a one night stand. This was before he was Jay-Z. This is when he was like on the corner boys. But she was super young compared to how old he was. Like this is insane. So hearing that this accuser was only 13 years old, I'm not surprised. But for the accuser's part, where was your parents? Where were your friends? Like, I get it, kids lie, they sneak out, they go to parties, they go to the club where they shouldn't be. But I've never known someone to sneak out and get off and they're on their own. We've all been there, you know what I mean? I've snuck out there, but I've been at my friend's house, and even if I go to the club again, I'm with my friends. So people are questioning, like, where were your parents when this happened? Where were your friends? Like, why were you just on your own? No offense, being on your own, obviously something's likely to happen, and then it did happen, and this is why they couldn't come out until they were older, because no one would believe you at the time. And you got to remember at that time in the 2000s, those two men were on top. You know what I mean? Like he said in that video, Jay-Z became the president of Def Jam. Like he was winning. He just got with Beyonce. Like he was literally like untouchable. Obviously, it's their downfall now, but you got to remember in the 2000s, these men were on top of the game. Everyone wanted a piece of them, wanted to be with them. It's nuts. So what this accused is accusing, obviously, is that Diddy raped them, and so did Jay-Z, allegedly. And then on top of that, there was a female celebrity. So people are like, who was Diddy with in the 2000s? And he always had a cute woman on his arm. So people are saying it could be J-Lo. But I'm thinking it could be J-Lo. It could be Kim Porter. It could be his other baby mom, because he was like just rotating these women, dealing with different women. Yeah, so who knows? It's crazy, but I hope they do name the woman, because all lies should be exposed. Because who knows what's going to happen to them? Obviously, Jay-Z's come out with a statement, which is quite telling. Because when it's Jaguar Wright, he's just like whatever. But the fact that he's come out with a statement so quick is very interesting. The same way when Cassie first, put it out there and he paid her off within 24 hours. I'm like, that was the biggest settlement ever. So the fact that he's come out with a statement, it's like, because Beyonce, people accuse Beyonce of witchcraft, that she never addresses it, she ignores it, like it's beneath her. So the fact that Jay-Z's come out and said, I didn't do that, I'm a young black man from Brooklyn, and people on X are so shady. How could they like Google his age and it's like, you're 55 years old, like young black man? I think he was talking about the time that the accuser is accusing. I think that's what he meant, but it just came out wrong. So, guys, yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think he did it? Do you think he was there? Everything's alleged until it's proved, you know what I mean? Until you're proven guilty. Yeah, let me know in the comments. And who do you think the celebrity woman that was in the room also? Please like, comment, and subscribe and share. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.